Be optimistic, but don't be delusional, right? Some guys or people in general, they saying, "Hey, I'm going to add this person to my life. I'm going to deal with all the stressful situations they're given to me." And it's like, all right, if you're dealing with people, you might run into some issues along the way. In any relationship or friendship, you might run into some issues along the way. But there are such thing as some really bad people in this world that you really shouldn't be in any kind of relationship with. You know what I mean? You should be optimistic, but don't be delusional. You know what I mean? I used to have this dog, deeply loved, cared about. But, when I first got him, he was a puppy. And he was like destroying all the furniture in my house and destroying the walls. And I said, geez, this is going to cost a lot of money to fix. And his behavior is just out of control. He was trying to do stuff in my yard that just wasn't okay. And I'm talking about serious stuff that wasn't okay. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be optimistic about the situation. He's still a baby. I'm going to give him time. And I fought for him. I kept him. I gave him time. And then he just kept running away. He ran away like 13 or 14 times. Then, I had to go speak to someone about that. The point is, I'm optimistic, but I'm not delusional, right? He was giving me too much trouble. In that case, I was optimistic about keeping him, but I wasn't delusional. He was giving me too much trouble, and he didn't give me a choice in that I had to let him go. And a lot of times when you're dealing with relationships, a lot of guys are like, "Oh, this girl's hot. She's a little bit of a head case, but oh, she's hot, and I'm gonna deal with all this stuff." Be optimistic, but don't be delusional. Because if it's happening at first, it's gonna eventually grow, and you're gonna realize, some things just aren't worth it. Some things just aren't worth the trouble. Some things ain't worth the headache. And you should be optimistic about situations. But if something's getting you in a lot of trouble and it's just not really seeming worth it, you gotta keep it real with yourself. And you can't be delusional about it.